The grand throne room of the Draconic Empire stretched before them like a cathedral of ancient power. Crystalline pillars reached toward vaulted ceilings, where constellations had been painted in luminescent gold, each star representing a world conquered by dragon fire. The air itself seemed to hum with centuries of magic, thick enough to taste on one's tongue. Anna stood among the crowd of nobles, her heart hammering beneath her simple gray uniform. She clutched her mop bucket tighter, feeling desperately out of place among the silk robes and jeweled coronets that surrounded her. As the palace's newest janitor, she had been ordered to attend the naming ceremony. Everyone who worked within the palace walls was required to witness this historic moment. The dragon Emperor Vextharion sat upon his obsidian throne, his massive form both humanoid and utterly alien. Scales the color of midnight cascaded down his shoulders, and his eyes burned with an inner fire that had seen millennia pass. Beside him, Empress Silveria held herself with equal majesty, her silver scales catching the light like diamonds. Between them, in an ornate cradle woven from dragon scales and starlight, lay their heir. "This is unprecedented," whispered Lord Costerion beside Anna, apparently not caring that he was speaking to a mere janitor. "The heir will choose their true name today. The dragons believe that a name chosen in infancy carries the soul's destiny." Anna nodded silently, her eyes fixed on the small figure beginning to stir in the cradle. She had heard the legends, of course, when a dragon heir came of age even at merely 6 months old by human reckoning. They would speak their first word, their true name, and in doing so, reveal the nature of their reign to come. The Emperor rose, his voice resonating through the chamber like rolling thunder. "Today, my heir chooses their name. Today, they choose their path. Today, they choose who they will become." The infant began to glow with an ethereal light, power radiating from such a small form. The nobles gasped and bowed lower. Even Anna found herself bending her knee, though she kept her eyes raised, transfixed by the scene. The baby's eyes opened brilliant gold, ancient, and knowing despite their youth. They surveyed the room with an intelligence that made Anna's breath catch. Every noble in the room straightened their finest clothes, hoping to be noticed, to be chosen, to be somehow acknowledged by the heir who would one day rule an empire spanning galaxies. The heir's gaze swept across the throne room, past the dukes and duchesses, past the military commanders adorned with medals, past the court wizards radiating their own magical power. And then those golden eyes locked onto Anna. Her blood froze. "No," she thought desperately, "not me. I'm nobody." But the heir was moving now, climbing from their cradle with impossible coordination. Their small form shifted, scales appearing and disappearing, wings flickering in and out of existence as they mastered their shape. They dropped to the marble floor with barely a sound. "The heir moves," someone shouted. They approached the throne, but that wasn't where the heir was going. They were walking toward Anna. The crowd parted in shock, nobles stumbling over each other to clear a path. The Emperor and Empress leaned forward, confusion crossing their ancient faces for the first time in centuries. John, the captain of the Imperial Guard, stepped forward instinctively, his hand moving to his sword before the Emperor waved him back. Anna wanted to run, wanted to disappear, wanted to be anywhere but here, with every eye in the throne room suddenly fixed upon her. But her legs wouldn't move. She could only watch as the heir approached, their small feet padding across marble that had been walked by conquerors and kings. The heir stopped directly before her, tilting their head up to meet her eyes. Anna saw something there that made her heart ache recognition, as if this ancient soul in a child's body knew her, had always known her. "You," the heir spoke, their first word ringing clear as a bell through the silent throne room. Their voice carried harmonics that shouldn't have been possible from such a small throat. "You who clean what others soil, you who repair what others break, you who see what others ignore." Tears pricked Anna's eyes. In the 3 months she'd worked at the palace, no noble had spoken to her, much less seen her. She was invisible, as all janitors were meant to be present enough to keep the palace gleaming, but absent from the notice of anyone important. The heir reached up with small arms. "You." Without thinking, Anna dropped her mop bucket. The sound of it clattering to the marble floor was deafening in the silence. She bent down, and the heir rushed forward, small arms wrapping around her neck in a fierce embrace that radiated warmth and acceptance, and something deeper and unshakable conviction that this was right, that this was meant to be. "My name," the heir announced, their voice projecting to every corner of the throne room, "is Mirathan, the seeing one, the one who remembers the forgotten." Anna held Mirathan and felt magic surge around them like a tide. She saw flashes in her mind, a future empire where the lowest were lifted up, where power meant protection rather than domination, where a janitor could stand beside an emperor not as a servant, but as an equal. The Empress spoke first, her voice thick with emotion, and I had never expected to hear from a dragon. "The heir has chosen. The heir has spoken." Emperor Vextharion descended from his throne, his massive form somehow gentle as he approached. Anna trembled but didn't let go of Mirathan. The emperor knelt, an emperor, kneeling before a janitor, and placed one clawed hand on Anna's shoulder. "You have been chosen by my heir," he said softly. "You are no longer a janitor. You are Anna, guardian and first friend to the heir Mirathan. Your place is beside them, today and always." John, the captain of the guard, stepped forward and knelt as well. "I pledge my sword to protect both the heir and their chosen." One by one, the nobles knelt, some with grace, others with visible reluctance, but all knelt nonetheless, because the heir had chosen, and in dragon culture, the heir's first choice was sacred, unquestionable, absolute. Mirathan pulled back from the embrace just enough to look into Anna's eyes again. "You see me," the child said simply. "Everyone else sees an heir, an emperor, a symbol. You see me. That is why I choose you." Anna's tears fell freely now. "I'm just a janitor," she whispered. "No," Mirathan said, their golden eyes blazing with certainty. "You are the one who will teach me that every person matters, that power without compassion is tyranny, that the measure of an empire is how it treats those with the least." The heir's small hand touched Anna's cheek. "You are exactly what I need you to be. You are my truth." The throne room erupted in whispers, but Anna heard none of it. She held Mirathan close again, understanding now why she had been chosen. Not despite being a janitor, but because of it. Because she knew what it meant to be overlooked, to be invisible, to be deemed unimportant by those in power. And now, she would stand beside the future ruler of an empire and ensure they never forgot. No one had expected it. But as Anna carried Mirathan back toward the throne, with the emperor and empress flanking them and the entire court bowing in their wake, she realized that the best moments in life were often the ones no one saw coming. The Dragon Empire would never be the same. And Anna, who had only wanted to keep her head down and do her work, had just become part of history. All because an heir ran past a throne and chose to embrace not power, but truth.